need sound coming out of the computer. There we go. Okay. Right.
Fantastic. Do you want to start the clock? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Andrew Hooper.
All right. I'm here to talk to you today about building collaborative music applications with Elixir, Phoenix, Elm, and the WebAudio API. My name is Andrew Hoagland. I'm a software engineer at TuneCore. We're hiring, like they said. I'm also a musician and a producer. I play trumpet and I dabble in production. You can hit me up on Twitter at Andrew Hoagland and GitHub at /ahoagland. Okay, so in the next 10 minutes, I'd really like to try to answer these 5 questions as best as I can. How does it work in terms of how do you build a collaborative musical application using these technologies? Why am I doing this? Why have I chosen these languages and why do I think they're a good fit? What does the code look like and does it even work? So I'm actually going to give a live demo, so pray for me. Before I give the live demo or even get into code, I just want to give you some context. So what I built for this talk is a basic drum sequencer. The front end is all built with Elm and it's all running on a Phoenix /Elixir backend. And as you can see here, you have your 16 beats, which are all cut up into 16th notes. You have a play and a stop, and you can manipulate the BPM of the music up or down with those buttons. So now that you've seen it, let's kind of take a look at some code. So why did I try to do this? Well, one, I really have always had a desire to collaborate and perform music. That's what I've grown up doing. And I always think it would be great to be able to do it over the internet, do it not only just across cities, but also just in New York. It's hard to even get together with people here in the city if you live in Queens and Manhattan. And I really haven't seen this problem solved yet. A lot of the major digital audio workstations, Logic, Pro Tools, even Ableton, they're great, but they don't have any collaborative nature to them. From what I can tell, I feel like this technology will allow us to solve this problem, or at least give us a great chance to. Why do I feel? Well, because as we all know, Elixir is fast and it gives us this concurrency that we need. Phoenix has speed, but also it has the channels. So the channels are what I'm leveraging to create these isolated rooms where people can come and collaborate together. Elm, I just picked up Elm the last couple of months and I'm really liking it, and it's rock solid, it's reliable. And then the last piece is the WebAudio API. And the reason I chose that is because if you guys are not familiar with the WebAudio API, it is a standard API that was developed by the W3C, and it allows us developers to manipulate audio in a browser. And so if you have Chrome, if you have Firefox, any modern browser, you have the WebAudio API. So it's ubiquitous. And it's also distributed. So I like the idea that the actual processing of some of the sound can happen on the client side and not on the server side. So let's take a look at some of the code. So I have a standard Phoenix 1.2 app. I call it Bad Mama Jamma. It has a jam model. So the jam model is what controls an isolated jam room or jam session. And all I did was put a DOM element in my jam show template that the Elm application then attaches to. So each jam room, like I said, is a channel topic, and whenever anyone joins a channel, it's associated with a specific ID that comes from the database, of course, and you can see this line that's highlighted in the green, that's starting a metronome gen server. So this is the global clock that broadcast metronome ticks out to everybody in the room. So let's take a look at this metronome. It's very, very simple metronome. Has a set and get BPM public API. And wait a minute. Okay, this is what I wanted to show. The init of the gen server sends a message to itself, a tick message, and I have a calculative method of the BPM that it needs to be. And then the handle info handles every subsequent tick of the metronome. So it just keeps sending to itself at whatever BPM has been calculated from the front end. I'm gonna go back real quick. The room right now only handles 2 callbacks one for updating a cell. Each one of those drum cells you can click on and it will either activate it or deactivate it. And then an update BPM for globally changing the beats per minute in the room. Okay, so on the front end, I am compiling Elm with Brunch. It's really simple. I loved how it just plugged right into the Brunch configuration file. And in the Elm front-end code, I'm using this Elm Phoenix socket package from the Elm package website. And this package is great. It makes it really easy for interacting with Phoenix channels within your Elm front-end code. So in terms of the Elm front-end, there was some interop I had to code to go from your Elm app out to some basic ES6 classes that are wrappers around the WebAudio API. So I created one that's a basic synth with just has like 2 oscillators in it and a 4-band EQ, and then another sound player function which just plays sounds with AJAX requests. And so let's give you a quick demo of what it looks like. Okay, so pretend this guy on the left is, for some reason that's going off the screen a little bit. Let me see if I can pull it over. Pretend the guy on the left is in, New York or in Brooklyn, the other guy's in Queens. And, and so you can see here that if I make a change on one guy's screen, it populates. So I'll go ahead and start the music. Now I purposely don't have them playing on both at the same time because that would cause duplicate audio. Let's say this guy wants to start adding hi-hats. Okay. And that's it. Maybe this guy wants to add some more. And there you go. So I'm just playing the keyboard, I'm triggering that basic synth that I showed you guys. So that's it. So, if you want to take a look at my code, you can go to /a/Hoagland, Bad Mamma Jamma. And I would really like to see this expanded upon. I think there's an opportunity here where you could build more modules. You could have a bass synthesizer, drum sequencer, and I don't know. If anybody wants to help me out in building something like this, your feedback, comments, or help will be greatly appreciated. So I'm all done. Thank you very much.
That's pretty sweet. Great minute to do a live demo. Coming up next, Jeff.